Hello, I'm Peter Vaughan, and on this bright winter's morning, I'm at the Southport Caravan and Motorhome Club site with this, the Wingamm City Suite Black Edition. Now, you may not know the name Wingamm because it's not a big brand in the UK, but this one I collected yesterday from ES Hartley in Ellesmere Port, and Wingamm has actually been building motorhomes since 1977. In fact, it says it's now the only independent manufacturer in Italy, the others being owned by the big groups such as Trigano, Erwinheimer and Rapido. And this independent company also says that it's the only mass producer of monocoque bodied premium motorhomes in the world. And that monocoque body is what Wingamm is all about. Wingamm has actually been building motorhomes this way for 40 years using hand-laid glass fibre on the outside, then a layer of polyurethane foam insulation and then glass fibre on the inside. And it is a one-piece monocoque, so no joins anywhere. The whole body, obviously apart from the Fiat cab, is in one piece. No wood in the construction, no metal. And it's bonded both to the Fiat cab all the way round and to the chassis rails underneath. So, what are the advantages? Well, the headline is that you get a 15-year water ingress warranty, because with no joins, no flat panels meeting, as on a conventional coach-built motorhome, no joins means no leaks. So they're happy to give you a 15-year water ingress warranty. Not only that, but Wingamm seems quite confident of the rest of its construction, because they'll give you a 7-year warranty on everything else, all the habitation fittings, even on the Fiat base vehicle. So with no wood and no metal in the construction, once the heat is inside, Wingamm says it stays inside because there's no thermal bridges to lose heat to the outside of the body. But, well, the downside is that Wingamm says it takes approximately 10 times longer to build a body like this compared with a conventional boxy, square panelled coach build. Well, if you look at it, you might easily think that that effort is well worthwhile, because just look at the shape of it. This is anything but a square box stuck on the back of a chassis cab. Even this line along the side, the way it's carried on from the Fiat cab doors right the way down the side of the vehicle, very much an automotive shape. In fact, the whole thing, it's hard to tell where Fiat ends and Wingamm begins. As I said earlier, you can't see any joints. I mean, this is the original Fiat panel here, but wow, it is quite remarkable, the job that they've done. Clearly, the aesthetics are extremely important to Wingamm. You've got these flush-framed windows. As I say, the whole body is so neatly done. Even the toilet servicing hatch here is not your standard mass-produced door. It's properly integrated into the bodywork, and the same insulation on all the hatches as on the rest of the vehicle. You've got your mains hookup point, of course, and then underneath the van is a 100-litre waste tank, heated and insulated with a ball valve for emptying. At the back here, you've got your gas locker, and this little button means it's linked to the central locking. So when you lock your van, it locks the tailgate, the habitation door, the cab doors, and your gas locker. And there's room in there for, well, a UK 6 kilogram cylinder. It will take up to an 11 apparently. And then carrying on around the back of the vehicle, you've got the tailgate. Now just look at the back of the van. Well, it's all, again, part of this one-piece monocoque. You've got your reversing sensors built in, you've got your reversing camera up at the top. It uses the original Fiat Ducato backlights, but with a look all of its own. And then once again, you've got one of these little metal press buttons, and open the tailgate, and you've got this really large garage area. 1.32 metres long, 1.22 metres wide and 845 millimetres high. So a really good space for all your outdoor gear. You've got a heater vent down here as well, and 12 volt and 230 volt sockets, a light as well, cupboards at the sides. We've got the jack and wheel brace in one of those cupboards, and the other I've used for mains, lead and hose, but you've got plenty more storage than that. What you haven't got is any tie downs to locate things, stop them sliding around, which seems a shame, and also no door to separate this area from the rest of the living space. Now, I'd like that door to be removable or openable so that you can carry long stuff, but I'd also like a door to be there so your outdoor chairs don't suddenly join you in the cab. Now, if you're thinking, that's great, I love the garage space, but that headroom isn't enough for my bicycles, well, there is a solution. Just press a button on the end of the bed and up it goes electrically, and in a few seconds your garage headroom goes up to 1.36 metres. Moving down the offside, your freshwater filler, freshwater tank is inboard, that's 100 litres. Alloy wheels, of course, and your habitation door, no window, but it's beautifully integrated into the body again and using an original Fiat door handle. Many, many options on this van, including the awning and the external barbecue point. If you want a Wingamm, the best thing to do is to go on the website, look at the configurator, just like you would if you were buying a car, tick the options that you want and work out what the price of the vehicle you would buy is, because there's a lot of options to choose on this vehicle and on other Wingams. And then finally, before I show you the inside, the other thing I should tell you about Wingamm is they are a specialist not just in these monocoque bodies, but in compact motorhomes. This little City Suite, well, it's 5.99 metres long, and you can see that the body doesn't jut out behind the cab, so it's the same 2.05 metres wide as a Fiat panel van. Height is slightly more, 2.77 metres, but this is a truly compact coach-built motorhome, and others in the Wingamm range, well, they do models that are even shorter. Going in, of course, the door is linked to the central locking, and just look at it, beautifully moulded with this big pull handle on the inside and a very large waste bin, intriguingly called Wally. But the thing I really wanted to show you is these door hinges made of Zanac alloy. They disappear into the recess. There's no external hinges, all, as I say, beautifully made. Now, the interior layout in this City Suite is very similar to most 6-metre Continental van conversions. So you've got this transverse bed over the garage at the back, and of course this is still in the raised position. But you can't sleep like that because with the top lockers on either side, there just isn't room in between. So we'll bring the bed back down again. Now, you can leave your duvet in position when the bed is raised, but you just need to move your pillows into the centre so that they're not trapped under the top lockers. Even in its lowest position, and it's restricted by the cupboards underneath, even in its lowest position, the bed is just over a metre off the floor, so you will need some sort of step. It's a shame Wingamm haven't devised something that folds or slides out, but here we've just got this sort of outdoor caravan style step, and that makes just the difference for getting onto the bed. Now, I slept here last night, and apart from the overhanging top lockers, which do loom a little bit low over your pillow, I found this extremely comfortable. It's a very, very good bed. Obviously a nice high quality mattress, and it is on a slatted frame. You've got a roof vent above, just a small one, and of course an opening window in the back panel as well. Access, of course, well, if you're sleeping against the back wall, you will need to climb over your partner to get out. But the only thing really that I don't like about this layout is that you've got top lockers on both sides. So unfortunately, despite having reading lights on either side, you can't really sit up in bed, which is a shame because, as I say, it's a very, very good bed. Forward of the bed, you've got your wardrobe on the off side next to the habitation door, and then your washroom on the near side, which we'll come back to. Kitchen, of course, there forward of the door, and then the typical sort of continental half dinette lounge. Your wardrobe is a good size. You've got a good hanging depth in there, plenty of room for jackets and so on, but also for some longer items. And then a couple of drawers underneath. And looking at the construction of these, you can see that Wingamm has a history in cabinet making. That's where the company's founders came from. Pity, though, that they don't soft close, but everything is nicely made. All the furniture apparently is poplar ply using very high quality plywood. Then under the two drawers, well, drawers for your drawers perhaps because they're quite small, then you've got a useful cupboard at the bottom. All the furniture is also fixed to the body with structural sealant rather than being screwed, which Wingamm say is much better for durability and also cuts down on conversion noise when you're driving. And then there's plenty of lighting in this vehicle. Wingamm say that they were one of the first to go for this very white interior, and it is very, very white in here, and looks even more so sometimes with the lighting, which is dimmable, but go for the brightest setting and the light bounces off all this white and it feels very, very bright in here. So your typical half dinette seating area, well, this is very upright and perhaps just a tad high in relation to the table. You have got a step up from the main living area into this seating zone because that keeps the cab seats on the same level as this half dinette. Net curtain on the window, plenty of lighting again, strip lights under the top lockers, as well as the illumination around the big hecky, well, push-up hecky roof light rather than the wind-up type that I prefer. There's no storage under this bench because that's where your boiler lives, and it's a gas and electric Truma combi boiler. The upholstery, I'm not sure whether it's real leather or not, but it is very, very nicely finished, made in Italy, and proudly wears the Italian brand name. Other than that, well, as I say, no storage under here, but you have got a really good top locker over the cab, much bigger than you'd get in the van conversions where they still retain the Fiat over cab shelf. That's a really, really useful space. And with it being lots of daylight from above, lots of artificial light, and all very white, it does feel quite spacious in here. The only thing is, on site, I'd much prefer to sit in the cab seats because they are much, much more comfortable. And the table, if you are sitting in that swivel driver's seat, has a swing out leaf so everybody can reach their dinner. And that's probably all I can say about this seating area. Very much sharing the same space at the front of the vehicle is your kitchen area alongside your half dinette. Quite similar to a campervan style kitchen, but forward of the door rather than having the big sliding door here that you'd have normally on a campervan. If you like the coach built style entrance and the more cozy feel of not having to slam a big sliding door, well, you may prefer this design. As I say, quite a simple kitchen. You've got this CAN 2-burner hob and then quite a large sink with this chopping board cover complete with the Wingamm branding on it. Sliding window behind. Kitchen includes a cutlery drawer, but not with recesses for your cutlery, and then there's quite a large locker underneath. Your fridge is a three-way one, gas, 12 volt and mains electric, but it doesn't automatically select the energy. You have to do that for yourself. Capacity of that is 95 litres. Up top, you've got these good size upper cupboards, and they've got concealed handles underneath. So good size storage, and you've got similar above the lounge as well. I should also mention these very substantial, very domestic looking hinges on the top lockers, and also the fact that you've got 12 volt and a single 230 volt 3-pin socket on the end of the kitchen. Obviously, to use that you'd have to have the cover over the sink. Pity there's no slide out or lift up worktop flaps to give you a bit more preparation space, but then you have got the table close by. And so to the washroom. And if you're used to looking at 6-metre campervans, well, this will be a very pleasant surprise. It's a good size space. You will need to pull the blind on the window though, if you're not going to be, well, thrown off the campsite, arrested for flashing, that sort of thing. No! Doesn't usually go down too well. Storage is excellent. Got these big upper cupboards with fiddle rails to keep things in place, and another large cupboard underneath the basin where your toilet roll stores. Good robe hooks, towel rail, useful bit of worktop alongside the basin, which is a good size, and you can get your head down over the basin without any issues because there's plenty of general moving about space in this little room. Good lighting above, and I particularly like the blue light setting. I left one of those on in the night so I could just come in here without being woken up by bright white light, use the facilities and go back to bed still half asleep. Great little feature, that. No roof vent above though, which is a bit disappointing when you have to open the window to let out the steam after a shower. And when you do want to shower, you do, I'm afraid, have to use a curtain. Pulls all the way around, but there's enough space in here that it's not too clingy, but it's never as good having a shower curtain. What you have got though is neat little recesses in the wall here for your shampoo and so on, and well, it's a nice separate shower head. You're not having to use the tap from the basin. So apart from the shower curtain, a really good space this. Oh, and I should have mentioned too, the Dometic toilet rather than the Thetford one, that is a big improvement as far as I'm concerned. So yet another Fiat Ducato. Well, maybe not quite, because this one has all the toys. It's got the big engine, the 9-speed automatic gearbox, both expensive options, and the fully digital dashboard display and keyless starting. So where the key would normally go is a button, foot on the brake, press the button, and next thing to do is to press the step retract button to get rid of that horrible piercing noise. Step doesn't automatically retract, but fortunately there's a button on the dashboard. You don't have to hop in the back when you've forgotten. Digital climate control as well, and right, we're ready to go. Drive, and again, no manual handbrake, it's a switch, and it comes off automatically when you start to drive. So we just pull away, and off we go. Now with this big engine, it has got plenty of performance. You wouldn't, well, you probably wouldn't spend this much on a premium motorhome without going for all the toys, would you? The dashboard display is quite smart with the digital instrumentation, and it even gives you a readout of the speed limit. So it's got traffic sign recognition. And then out on the road, it's pretty impressive. It just feels like a campervan because it's campervan width, campervan length. You haven't got any extra bulging bodywork or anything to think about. It's just over 2 meters wide. However, I would have hoped that with all Wingamm say about its beautiful construction and the way they fix the furniture and so on, I rather hoped it was going to be silent on the road. Well, admittedly, I've been on some pretty poor bits of road surface, as we get to enjoy in this country. But yeah, they do elicit a few rattles. It's better on good road surfaces, obviously, and then it really is quite quiet. But on the usual British potholed rubbish road surfaces, yeah, there are a few rattles. I should say I've got all my own kit in here as well, so that probably doesn't help. Handling, well, again, it just feels like a campervan. It's usual Fiat, very, very firm ride, sharp steering, so it's nice to drive, but you do get a very, very firm ride, and that, of course, is what doesn't help with the rattling. Plenty of performance, decent all-round visibility. You've got your reversing camera built into the display. Now, that's not Fiat's display, that is a Pioneer unit. It's slightly smaller than the biggest Fiat dashboard display option, but it gives you your DAB radio, your reversing camera, and then if you want sat nav, you just plug in your phone down below. There's a lead with a USB on it to plug into your phone, and then you've got Apple CarPlay and Android Auto to have your sat nav up on your dashboard display, and that works very, very well. So all told, yes, it feels like a small van. It feels compact, easy to drive, just as you'd hope. So that's the Wingamm City Suite, the compact coach-built motorhome that thinks it's a campervan. I love the concept, and I really love that monocoque body. Not only does it look good, but it should last for years and years and still look good. Of course, backed by a 15-year warranty. The inside too has a wonderful feeling of quality about it, and things like the insulation will certainly be better than most campervans. What do you pay for all this? Well, you'll notice that I haven't up until now talked about price. It starts, this model, at £81,700, which in today's market doesn't sound too bad. But then you come to the options. Options like the engine upgrade and automatic gearbox, which in round figures is £7,000 for the two. Then there's the comfort pack for £1,640, the design pack at £1,970, the drive pack £1,750, the Wingamm Pack City £4,260, the media pack £2,460, the Hecky roof light £1,510, the external gas barbecue point £300, rear parking sensors £360, awning light £180, that electric up and down bed at the back £2,400, and even those black edition graphics cost extra £1,970 extra. That's not the end of it. There's more. Awning, £1,200, and then there are 4 different interior colour schemes. This one is called Metropoli, and it'll set you back an extra £2,290. Add it all up and you come to a total of just over £112,000, which is an awful lot of money for a 6-metre Fiat-based motorhome. Yes, I can see the appeal. There's a lot to like in this van, but I have to say I think there are better models in the Wingamm range, and if you like the idea of the monocoque body, the quality and the design that goes into a Wingamm, I suggest you have a look at the whole range, because there's a lot of compact vehicles all offering this sort of style. This one, as I say, was supplied to us by ES Hartley in Ellesmere Port, and there are other Wingamm dealers around the UK. Thank you for watching our latest motorhome review. I hope you've enjoyed it and seen something a little different this time. Please don't forget to like and to subscribe. Thanks for watching.